Yeah. Okay. At the end of the lessons, the students will be able to define what a position paper is, identify situations in which a position paper may be effectively used in our present society, articulate insights on the significance of expressing one's position, and examine samples of position papers. So to steer our discussion, I want to ask this question first. Okay, do you engage in political discourse in social media? How do you articulate or frame your stand in any pressing societal issues? Do you consider the other people's perspectives and why? Okay, so I know you have your Facebook account or even Twitter and other social media accounts. So it's very noticeable in our feed that many people or the netizens are voicing out their opinions, their stands with regard to pressing issues that we're facing today, especially about the pandemic, the COVID-19. So most of their issues are not just about the pandemic itself, but their criticisms about how our government, our current government is handling the situation. So in your case, do you engage in political discourse in social media? I want to ask Jenny Lynn, or if you engage in political discourse, how do you articulate or frame your stand in any pressing societal issues? Okay, Jenny Lynn.
Labaw ka try, sir.
Wala ka try.
Yes, sir.
So, um, about other issues, not just political discourse, do you post something like you are giving an aggressive comment or opinion about something? Have you tried that?
No, sir.
Wala pa. Okay, how about Merkel? Merkel, are you there? Okay, how about you, Ralph? No response. How about you, Junmar? Okay, the very reason why I'm asking you these questions is that because seeing the news feed, social media, especially in Facebook or even in Twitter, it's very sad to know that it's such as although it's really fine, it's totally fine if you're going to voice out your opinion, even or regardless how aggressive your opinion is. It's just um, there are many people are not really discussing what's the issue. Rather, they are attacking the person, especially those who are on the opposing side. of the issues, or those people who do not agree with their opinion or their standpoint. So instead of discussing the real issue, they just attack the person. I'm sure you already heard the term ad hominem. That is one of the deceptive appeals usually used. Either they are aware or unaware. So it's not bad to engage in political discourse as long as you can provide rational or sound or logical arguments about the issue. Okay, let's proceed. So we're going to discuss a position paper. Okay, a position paper, also called an argumentative paper or a manifesto, is an essay that presents a person's or group's position or stand on a particular issue. Its goal is to convince the reader of the acceptability of the writer's position, and it does so by. Okay, when we say position paper, you're going to provide what's your stand, what's your opinion, whether you agree or disagree towards a particular issue, especially pressing issues in a society. Um, you're going to convey about your arguments or opinions about an issue. It's like a written debate. That's why it's also called argumentative paper, because it seems like you are debating, although in written form. So position paper is also an argument built upon evidence and facts. It's not just about giving your opinion, voicing out your point of view, but you need to make sure that you can provide sound, logical, and rational arguments. So how can you do that? You need to provide facts and evidence in order to support your claims. Okay, the goal of position paper is to convince your readers that your point is valid and worthy to consider. That's what position paper is. Okay, position paper presenting rational support to a writer's position through the use of evidence. So as what I have said, position paper, you need to provide rational arguments to your stand or opinion by supporting it with evidence. Then presenting counter evidence to or flaws in the arguments of the opposing position, which means that position paper is used to refute the arguments of the already existing position paper with regard to a particular issue, or um, invalidate the opposition, those people who do not agree with your standpoint. Next, we have using emotional appeals. Okay, to appeal to the emotions of the people in order to solicit empathy. Okay, uses of a position paper. Okay, position papers are used in any kind of situation in which there is a significant issue that needs to be addressed. We see the position paper in many different contexts as a requirement in school, in international relations, and in politics. So basically, say position papers, they are used in addressing pressing issues in various fields, be it in business, be it in the academe, be it in politics, and many more. So position papers can be used in various contexts, and its very goal is to discuss, to address, convince people about a position or stand in a particular pressing issue. Okay. Position paper does more than expressing a group's or a person's sentiments on an issue. It also helps others to become more aware of certain problems in society and possibly become more involved in finding solution to it. So position paper, it's not just about expressing, conveying your opinion, but it's also about informing other people what's happening, what are the underlying implications, how these issues uh, at, can affect to the individual lives of people, so that they will be more involved, take an action, do something in order to address the issue. Okay, parts of a position paper. So these are the essential parts that you need to consider when it comes to writing a good position paper. First is we need to consider the issue. An issue is an idea or question over which people are divided. It is called controversy. That means people have different points of view on the matter. Some ideas are not debatable. People have the same views about it. So when we say issue, it's like the motion. In a debate pa, it's the motion. It's the very thing that you are debating with or arguing with, an issue. So it is a subject matter being debated or argued by people. Sometimes people have the same point of view or stand. There are also issues that people have varied opinions about that issue. So it depends upon the situation. Next is the thesis. Your thesis, also called the claim, is a statement that expresses your stand or position on an issue. This expresses how you feel about an issue. Are you in favor or against it? Is your, is your position somewhere in between? So basically, when we say thesis, this is your standpoint, this is your point of view, or this is your position, an issue. Either you agree or disagree, or are you neutral? Ganun siya. Next one is the reasons. A position paper seeks to persuade readers to have the same position on an issue as the writer does. Thus, it is important for the writer to state the reasons in order to explain the reader why his or her position is logical, acceptable, and believable. Another term for reason is argument. So, meaning, say your reasons, these are your arguments. What are the things that you want to convey? What are the implications? Next one is our support. Support refers to the evidence or ideas to substantiate the reasons. Support may be classified into the following types. Since you have your arguments or the reasons, it's very important that you need to provide logical, rational, and sound judgment about an issue being reflected or manifested in your reasons or arguments. So it's in order for you to validate or substantiate your reasons, your arguments, you need to provide supporting evidence. First is we have facts, figures, and the writer's own observations or reports from scholarly studies. So in order for you to support or solidify your claims, you need to support with facts, be it research studies or scholarly studies, um, works from experts or authors of the topic of the issue that you are arguing with in your position paper. You have comparisons, similarities, or differentiation between two ideas, concepts, or situations. So you need to compare and contrast um, ideas or points. You need to weigh in or you need to balance which is lesser evil, which is more advantageous, or which is more logical or reasonable. Next, we have examples, real life demonstrations of an idea. So you need to provide real life situations in order to support your claim. So if this specific stand is manifested in real life situation or can be seen in real situations, ganun. Next one, opinions, the author's feelings or generalization. It's like your conclusion. What's your argument? Then we have opposing viewpoints or counter arguments. Opposing viewpoints, also known as counter arguments, give the arguments opposing your stand. Her goal in presenting these is to refute or discredit them so that any opposition in the reader's mind is dealt with. You refute by showing weaknesses in the counter argument. So say opposing viewpoints or counter arguments, you're going to refute or invalidate the opinions of the opposition. You to show to them that their arguments are unreasonable or irrational by providing your own rational point of view about the issue. So in order for you to what do you call that, to be advanced, so that the opposition cannot use a specific argument, you need to counter it first na before they can present it. So it's one of the strategies being devised by debaters. Yung kina-counter nila first before the opposition can present it in the debate. Meaning gina-discredit na nila or gina-invalidate na nila. And that's it about our lesson for this meeting. Okay, by the way, yung module for this week, we'll post it after our meeting. And then it's the same drill. You're going to submit the assessment activities weekly during Saturdays at any time of the day. So yung sa performance task ninyo for this quarter, we'll give it to you next week na. Okay? So this time, different na yung PT ninyo sa Oralcom at saka sa APP. I already mentioned it earlier that your PT in Oralcom will be your participation in the upcoming United Nations Day celebration. Pero itong PT nyo sa APP is different. We'll give it to you next week. This is by group activity or by group performance task. Okay. Okay, do you have questions about our lesson? Are we clear? Kung wala ng questions, I think that's it. It's a wrap. So it's a wrap. We'll end the virtual meeting now. Thank you for your participation, guys. See you next meeting.